All right, we'll go ahead and get ready. My name is David White. I teach the heating and air conditioning program here at Trumbull Career and Technical Center. Welcome aboard. Appreciate you spending your time on this evening virtually with us. Unfortunately, this is the way we have to do things right now. So stepping up and stepping to the plate and getting involved with this stuff, that means something. So thank you very much. This is our virtual open house. What I'm going to do this evening for you is talk to you for a few minutes about the HVAC program here at Trumbull Career and Technical Center, what you're going to learn, what your future could possibly be, which direction you can go with this skill, a little bit about our school and what's expected of you and what your opportunities could be. To start with, like I said, my name's David White. I've been teaching here for 25 years now. I've been in and out of HVAC since 1982. I really enjoyed it. It's a good trade to be in. To me, you're doing something different every day, working out there in the field, whether you're installing units or fixing a rooftop unit or, working on new construction, whatever you're getting into, it's something different. So I try to treat my program that way, where you as the students will do a lot of hands-on work. You'll learn by doing. We'll learn the theory along the way, and just keep progressing every day so we can get you ready to get you graduated and get out and get into a good field of work. There's jobs in this industry all over the United States. I mean, think about it. You go down into South Florida, like where I'm from originally, from Tampa, Florida. I mean, it's summertime down there 10 months out of the year, and there's a huge need for air conditioning techs. So something to think about. You go out to the desert west, same thing. Or you move up into the northern states where it's furnaces 8 months out of the year. I mean, think about it. These machines break. These machines need reinstalled. This is what we try to teach you here in my program. What I'm going to show you right now is a real quick little PowerPoint slideshow about some facts and figures concerning our school and the program. So bear with me while I share the screen, and we'll get rolling from there. A couple of seconds, and then we'll get going. Okay. All right, let me go back to the beginning here. Welcome aboard. Like I said, this is our virtual open house. That's a shot of the front of our building. If you've never been here before, that's taken from out by the flagpole. If you come to the school and ride a bus, you'll see that every day. Building's about 45 years old. Nice old place. Career Technical Education, CTE. Why does it work? Well, here at TCTC, we pride ourselves and we focus on graduation and getting junior and senior students from all of our 20 schools ready to get out into whatever industry that they choose to get into. Or if you want to go into higher education, excellent. Our programs are geared towards that. If you want to keep on learning, even enlisting in the military, we will help you make those decisions along with your parents and guardians. We are here to help you. We're here to find a direction for you to make it work for you. Those of us that have been out in industry for most of our lives, I just had a meeting the other night with my advisory committee. I wish I was young like you guys again. There is so much work out there, even in Northeast Ohio here. The local industries, the local heating and air guys are screaming for work or workers. And they need people to show up every day, stay off the drugs, and have a clean driver's license, and they'll hire you. So that's what we prepare you for, is being able to function out there in those worlds, okay? What do we do in the heating and air conditioning program here at Trumbull Career and Technical Center? Well, let's start over with learn and develop skills. The first thing that we all concentrate on here in this program, and in all the programs in trade and industry here in the school, is safety. We have equipment in some of these programs that can really do some damage to you. We want you to be safe. No student gets hurt in my program. No student gets hurt because of horseplay or using the machines the wrong way. So we do a lot of safety training before you get to use anything. It's not weeks and months of that stuff, but we go through how to use things properly, give you a little quiz, give you a practical quiz, and then we cut you loose and let you start using the machines, okay? So one of the first things you do is you learn basic electrical skills. In HVAC, electrical is about 80% of the problems if you're a service tech. You'll get called out on an evening and the furnace is not working. Why? You have to troubleshoot it with voltmeters. You have to check the voltages. So we'll get into electrical and electrical safety. How do you handle live wires and things like that? So you'll learn basic wiring skills. How do I use 120 volts, 240 volts in the program, and the low voltage control voltage, 24 volts, but we'll get into that in the future. Sheet metal fabrication, that is the silver boxy stuff that you'll see in the basement of your home or a friend's home or something like that. That's the duct work that delivers the air to everyone's rooms in their homes. If you go to like a Sam's Club or a Giant Eagle with those wide open ceilings, or a Home Depot, take a look up into the air. You'll see all that steel hanging up there. HVAC, you're up there hanging that steel, and it's something that you might want to get into, working big construction like that. You'll see the machines hanging in the ceilings. You'll see the ductwork. We teach you some of that sheet metal fabrication on how to make that stuff. One of the biggest things we do and spend a lot of time on is AC and furnace installation and troubleshooting. What that means is air conditioning, AC. Some of you probably have that in your homes. Furnace installation. It's cold out. You've got to have heat. What kind of heat do you want? Boiler heat, gas heat, electric heat. We go through all the different types in here. You actually install units in the program and make them run. We gas pipe them, we wire them, we put the Freon into them, which is the gas that makes the cooling. You go through the whole step and you'll do it several times so you get very good at it. These skills you learn, you can take out and apply at a job, and you're one step ahead of the next person. EPA Freon certifications is some of the stuff that you're going to learn and have to get. What that is to be able to use some of the gases, you have to be basically licensed by the government. You don't have to be in my program licensed. You'll work underneath mine. I have what's called a universal EPA license. So you're all good working in here. This is an educational institution anyways, so they bend the rules a little bit. But we give you the opportunity for these exams so you can get certified to use the gases. Last thing, pipe fitting and brazing. Pipe fitting is the gas piping. You can get into the pipe fitters unions. You can get into the gas pipe fitters and things like that. These are the men and women that pipe this country. You would be surprised how much piping that there is underneath cities, underneath, Warren, Ohio. I used to go out with an old contractor friend of mine and fix pipes at night that would break. You've seen them, digging up the road and guys down inside of a hole fixing something. Pipe fitters, they make very good money, but there's a lot of schooling with that and you need a lot of experience, but you're young and you can move on into that if you wish. Brazing is a welding process that we're going to do. I'm going to walk you around the lab here in a little bit, and I'm going to show you what that means. Some of the certifications you get in the center column, along with the EPA certification, you will get the OSHA 30. It is required by the state of Ohio. OSHA is a safety program. We spend 4 months on that in here. It's an online thing that you'll use your iPad for, and you'll get 30 hours under your belt. And then you'll get a certificate and a nice little wallet card that you can show employers. Trust me, they love seeing that you're OSHA safety certified in construction. That means they don't have to send you to school. So that's one of the things you will do in this program as a junior. I mentioned the EPA 608 certification to use Freons. You will also get what's called the NCCER certification. That's a construction certification in various aspects of things. Construction drawings, hand tools, power tools, things like that. We are not going to concentrate on all that in the first 2 weeks of school. No, this is spread out over 2 years. but these are some of the goals that I want you to achieve while you're in the program. You also will belong to Skills USA. That is a program geared towards CTE students. It allows you to get into some scholarship opportunities, some contests and things like that. To come to TCTC, we are a very positive school. We want positive attendance. We need students, and we want students to be ready to accelerate and work. Every teacher here is here to help you. We're not here to just do this paperwork just to do it. No, it means something. So you have to be here. TCTC is set up like this is your job. You're not getting paid money. That comes in the future, but you're getting paid in the experiences. You're getting paid in the skill knowledge and your high school graduation and your certificates that you're going to get. So this is your job, and we need you to show up here every day. In HVAC, visual and mechanical skills. I don't know, are you the type of person that likes to take apart motors or machines and put them back together, or you rebuild car engines or something? Great. If you don't do that stuff, that's fine too. We teach every student the same, but if you have certain skills, that's just one more check mark for you. Problem solving skills. We work in teams in this program. I'll buddy you up with 2 or 3 other people, give you a piping project, and you have to work together and solve that problem and work in teams. You will do that out in the field, out in HVAC. So we get you going in that here, so you get used to doing those things. Now, the dreaded word mathematics. No, I don't do calculus or algebra and things in the lab. You will get that in your math classes. All important. The mathematics that we use in HVAC is construction math. How to use a tape measure, adding feet and inches, things like that. When we get into sheet metal, there is a lot of what's called layout, where you really got to do a lot of measurements and things like that. Do not worry if your math skills are not where you think they should be. There is a lot of help here at the school, starting with me as your lab teacher. We will get you through this. You will be successful. We'll move on to what's called the career tree for HVAC. What this is, what are the opportunities that you could possibly get into? Well, we set it up like a tree where you could start at the roots here, and you'll learn the basic skills down here. And once you attain the basic skills, entry-level careers. That's with completing this program. Ductwork installers, a mechanical helper. That's where you go out and you help install machines. Supply houses. There are supply areas that, HVAC people got to drive to and go get parts and pieces. You could work the counters there and, get the parts for companies and things like that. Fabricators, sheet metal, just installers, okay? You will have enough skills coming out of this program to get you into those jobs. Generally around here, we can start you off anywhere from $10 to $15 an hour just with entry level, depending on, the company and how well you can do your skills. If you want to continue on, you can move up into the second level of the tree. You could become a sheet metal fabricator. They work more in shops. They don't go out into the field. They make all the duct work for big construction sites. An HVAC mechanic. Those are the people that you'll see in their vans all over Champion and Warren. They're going to service calls. Refrigeration service tech. Those are the men and women that, they fix the walk-in coolers over here at Speedway or whatever. You could work for a company like Speedway, and that's what you do. You just drive all around, a 3-county area maintaining their equipment. Very good job to have. Test and balance technicians, control technicians, that's more for fine tuning, shall we say, restaurants and airflow and things like that. So there's all kinds of things to do in the middle of the tree. The last one is, if you're more geared towards a lot of education, higher education, move on up into college, become a mechanical engineer, become a full-blown designer. Architects, there are architectural firms, that's all they do is design heating and air systems for big buildings, office buildings, hospitals. things like that. Project estimators, that's what I was for a construction company for many years. That's where you get a big roll of blueprints and you cost the job out. You figure out how much things cost. So lots of opportunity starting right here at in HVAC here at TCTC. Moving on, let's talk about the career outlook. I did a little research and looked into what the projections are for the next few years, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's a federal government think tank type thing. They're saying that by 2022 that the need for HVAC people, whether it's technicians or installers collectively, should go up about 21%. So like I said before, you can go just about anywhere in this country, and if you have the skills, you're employable. Down south, things are booming. The construction and the machines that need fixed and replaced. One of the things that's coming down the pike is energy efficiency. People are wanting to get rid of their older units and getting the very high efficiency machines in here. They need people that know how to work on those things and know how to install them. So you're going to learn those basic skills here and then get out into that world. You could even go international if you wish. You know, some of the developing countries are going to need people, but that's for you guys to figure out. Why work in HVAC? Me, it opened up all kinds of doors. Personally, I liked it because every day was a new job. One day I'd be installing a furnace at some home somewhere in a basement. The next couple of days, maybe I was installing rooftop units on a Save-A-Lot or something like that. And then for the next few weeks, I'd be at some new construction, installing ductwork or something. It was always something new for me. I was never sitting in one place. So that's what I try to encourage students. You can do all kinds of things with this trade and have a good time doing it and make a very good living at it. What are some of the other careers you can do? Boilermakers, they build big giant units for ships, very large boiler systems for the heat cities, believe it or not, very, very large equipment. You can go into electrical, be an electrician. I mean, start off in HVAC, go into the electrical trades, whatever you want to do. Pipe fitters and steam fitters. Those are the men and women that feed everything to all the machines around the country. I mean, you would be surprised how much piping there is underneath your feet in any typical city. The gas and the steam, it all has to be delivered. Pipe fitters and steam fitters, very hard job, but you make a lot of money doing it. So something to think about. Stationary engineers, boiler operators, those are the people that run big buildings. We all know that we're in this COVID thing right now. Think about hospitals with all the poor people that are in there having a bad time and all the nurses and doctors. Somebody is running that building. Somebody is keeping it heated and cooled. Those people are major important right now. Keeping the hospitals up and running. Hospitals cannot shut down. So getting into that type of work is very good. I have a brother-in-law that does that, and very good job to have. That takes a lot of experience, but you're young and you can get into it if you want to. So sky's the limit for you. Just a couple of student testimonials about how students like coming to TCTC and they learn a trade before they go on to college. They learn about their time management and you get to learn something with your hands by doing instead of just sitting in classes all day long. Now, you do have academics. Extremely important. You must pass them. You have to get through the academics. So just don't think lab is the only thing. No, you have to know how to communicate. You need the math. So it's one big giant conjunction of classes and we get you out of here. The last thing is if you are interested in any programs, including mine here at TCTC, applications are open now. On the website, you can begin the application process. If you're interested in a program such as mine or any of them, I highly suggest that you at least fill out the application and get it in place. Get yourself into the system. Even if you choose not to come to this school, which we really would like you to do, at least your name's in right now and you're reserved a place. Because these labs, mine and welding, and they get full and you could be put on a waiting list because you wait too long. So something to think about. All right, thanks for that little, or paying attention to my little PowerPoint here. I'm gonna switch screens. I'm gonna give you a little tour of the lab real quick. Bear with me. And we'll go back to Zoom here. And I will switch the camera around and I'll take you around the lab and show you what's what. Okay, just a big screenshot of the lab right here. This is where we work. You can see we have some cubicles that look like that they are new construction type things. Well, that's exactly what they are. You're going to learn how to build these walls and install ductwork and install units. Let me walk over this way and show you some of our standard tools that we use. This is a standard toolkit that you will be required to purchase, or if you have these tools at home, that's fine. It's just your regular hand tools, hammers and screwdrivers, lineman's pliers, voltmeters. I advise the students get a nice carrying case. Even if you don't go into HVAC, when you're graduated, these tools are yours. You have them forever. Everyone needs a good set of tools at their home. So some of the basic tools that we use. Flipping around over here, let's look at some of the brazing equipment. The torches we use are these right here. Oxygen and acetylene welding torch. Okay, we spend a lot of time on safety in it because we're using about 2,000 degree heat. But what you'll do is you'll weld together little copper projects, sort of like this one. What this was for is the juniors just did this before we were locked down. 2 pieces of copper pipe, drill holes in it with either the drill press or hand drills, measure the copper between it because they had to have a certain distance between the two, weld them all together, and then we put an air chuck on the top up here and dunk this whole contraption underwater and see if it leaks. If it's got air bubbles coming out underwater, it's no good. They'd have to go back and repair it. And then what I do, it's kind of hard to see right here, is at night when I'm here, I'll come in here and I'll drill holes in them or I'll damage them and the students have to fix them for me, just like a real service call. So that's some of the brazing and welding projects we do. Over here on this table, one of our workstations, this is an example of some of the wiring boards we do here. Thermostat, relays, time delays, things like that. I know none of that means anything to you right now, but what it is simulations of furnaces. For instance, let's go through what this thing does. This is a transformer. Turns 120 volts into 24 volts. That's what runs your thermostat in your home. Fan relay, thermostat, little light socket. Students get all the parts. I give them the wiring diagrams, and they got to wire it to do something like this. You'll hear it snap. What this thing did was snap on. It's like a light switch that you don't touch. Using the thermostat, turn on the light. Light represents a furnace or a fan motor or something like that. And once you get better with the wiring on the tables like this, we'll let you do some real world stuff on some units, which I'll show you here in a minute. Swing around over here, I'll show you the sheet metal area. All these big green machines and things like that, and all these tables. We spent a lot of time on safety on these things. You can see the big sheet metal, pieces of sheet metal in the background back there. This is a shear. This thing here, it's like a big pair of scissors. It can cut that metal right in half quicker than nobody's business. Very dangerous tool, but we spent a lot of time teaching you how to use it. And then you can bend things up with this thing. It's called a sheet metal brake. What it does is you put the metal inside of it and you can just bend the units and make edges and bend things. Sheet metal is probably where you're going to use mathematics the most in my class, because you have to take flat metal like that and turn it into stuff like this. These are projects my seniors were just working on before we shut down. Like I said, you've probably seen some of this in your home or relatives' homes or out in the world somewhere, but you can see where they got to measure things and they've got numbers and stuff on them. But we give you little sheet metal projects to work on. You bend it up and put it together and you get the experience. Back here is what the juniors were working on before we shut down. Pipe fitting. using all these machines back here. It's kind of ugly and greasy and dirty, but these are called pipe threaders. I'll turn one on. It's kind of noisy. But what it does is, okay, it's a high torque motor where you can cut the pipe with the cutters. This thing here will thread the pipe. Basically what I'm doing is this right here. I'm taking a piece of black pipe and I'm putting threads on the end of it so I can screw it together. So I'll give kids a 10-foot length of pipe and a bunch of measurements, and they've got to cut it down and make my projects for you, or for me. Over here is believe it or not, it's a mobile refrigerator that we're repairing for a customer. This is a little refrigeration unit that we're replacing a bunch of parts on. You can see some of the Freon gauges that we're leak testing it with. And it's like a little mini refrigerator. So some of the real world things that we'll work on with you in here. And I encourage the students also to, if you got refrigerators or things that you want to repair, bring them on in, we'll do it. Back over to the new construction areas. This is where I'm storing units right at the moment. But you will come into a new construction area like this and you'll gas pipe it. You can see the electrical on the walls. There are some units sitting here that you're going to have to pipe and wire and put together. Here's a furnace that we were starting to work on before we shut down. Look inside there. It looks like a big bowl of spaghetti wires and stuff like that. You will learn all about the parts inside of a furnace and how to make them work. It looks completely strange to you right now, but by the time you're done, you're going to know what everything in there does and how it works and how to repair it. Electrical on the walls that we have to redo. So, you know, in HVAC, there's a ton of things to learn. It's kind of fun. I think it is. And another cubicle that's all cleaned out. We're getting ready to put some duct work into up on the ceilings. And, you know, the sky's the limit once you get your skills nailed down. So what I'd like to do now is hand it over to our academic partners that are online and let them explain to you what is required of you in academics.